Hello everyone, thank you for joining this month's webinar. The topic is Healthy Eating on the Go. And my name is Dawn and I'm a health coach with Strategic Health Services, and it's my pleasure to offer you this topic this month. So how many of you feel like being busy is a barrier to eating healthier? Well, you're not alone. So today we're going to discuss some ways to break through the barriers to eating healthy, specifically eating on the go or away from home. We will first define healthy eating and provide some basic goals to achieve better health and nutrition. Then I will talk about some general tips to follow for healthy eating and snacking, because there are many places that we eat. We eat at home, at work, or school. So we're going to cover some of the more common eating environments and how to avoid the pitfalls of unhealthy eating in these environments. And then lastly, I will provide some additional resources that you can use for additional information on this topic. So what is healthy eating? Well, there are three main principles of healthy eating, and they are balance, variety, and moderation. Now, using balance when eating refers to choosing the right mix of foods from all the different food groups to ensure that your body gets enough, but not too much, of the vitamins, minerals from each of those different food groups, which are carbohydrates, fats, proteins. You know, we need a mix of nutrients for our body to function properly. And balance can be achieved daily by choosing the recommended servings and serving sizes for your needs from each of the 5 major food groups, as well as limiting fats, oils, and sweets. The 5 major food groups include grains, vegetables, fruits, dairy, and protein, which includes meats and beans, and even nuts are in this group. Now, variety when eating means not only choosing food from each of the food groups, but also choosing a variety of foods within each of these groups. So different foods within each group are good sources of different nutrients. For example, in the vegetable group, leafy greens like spinach or kale are really good sources of vitamin K, which is necessary for proper blood clotting. But other vegetables that are orange or yellow in color, like carrots and squash, are good sources of vitamin A or beta-carotene, which is important for immune function and your eyes and your skin health. Now, moderation is the principle of eating what your body needs and not overeating. So recognizing hunger and fullness cues is very important to this principle. Listening to your body and respecting these hunger and fullness cues is an important key to moderation. And it's important to eat for physical or biological needs rather than social or emotional reasons, meaning eat for hunger and not for external cues. You can assess your current diet quality online using the United States Department of Agriculture. The site is MyPlate, Super Tracker, at choosemyplate.gov, and this tool allows you to see whether you are getting a diet that is balanced with good variety and the appropriate moderation for your gender, age, and body type. And another really good resource for healthy eating is the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, which provides recommendations for proper eating and good health, and that can be found at healthierus.gov/dietary guidelines. And so this here is an example of the Super Tracker website from the USDA. As you can see, it gives you a lot of information about the food that you've eaten and what you're deficient in. So you can choose the type of food that you've eaten and how much you've eaten. And it also summarizes what you've eaten on the upper right so that you can review it. So the chart at the top right shows how much of each food groups you've eaten. And this can give you a better idea of what kinds of foods you need to eat more of, as well as maybe cut back on. And this person here needs to eat more protein and milk and yogurt, so dairy and protein. But they're doing well with their grains, vegetables, and fruit. Now, in the middle on the right-hand side, This shows you how many calories you've eaten and how many calories you should eat. So this person has eaten 1,677 calories, and they should be eating about 2,200 calories. So when you make an account with SuperTracker, you enter your information, your age, your gender, your weight, what your goals are, how physically active you are, and then SuperTracker tells you a rough estimate of how many calories you should be eating, and it takes all that information into account. Now, programs like this do take time. They can be a little cumbersome, but they are a great way to track your food intake and to see if you're getting a good balance of nutrients. There are also a number of private companies that can help you do this, some of which have mobile apps, but they give different information about your diet. And some of these apps can actually be synced with your My Pathway to Health trackers by going to the My Fitness application section on the bottom left and then choosing whatever, whichever one that you're using that works for your lifestyle. Okay, so healthy eating should be a way of life and not something that you do occasionally when you're dieting or trying to lose weight or whatever. And here are some general goals to have when eating. First, make smart food choices from every food group and include variety of fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, make most of your grains whole grains, and choose low-fat dairy. As a general rule, half of your grains should be from whole grain sources. Some examples include brown rice, whole wheat pasta, cereals, etc. Secondly, balance food intake with your activity level in order to decrease the likelihood of gaining weight over time. The energy balance equation is basically energy in should equal energy out for you to maintain your weight. If you burn more energy doing various activities than you take in from food, you'll be in a negative energy balance, and that means you'll lose weight over time. If your goal is to maintain your weight, you want it to be equal. Now, when making food choices, you want to get the most nutrition for the calories from the foods you eat. Optimize your nutrients by getting foods with plenty of potassium, calcium, vitamins A, C, also iron. Watch your intake of saturated fats and trans fats, and also dietary cholesterol and sodium, which are readily found in our current food environment. And then, finally, be conscious of what you eat. It's very easy to just grab and go without thinking about the types of food you're eating. Make an effort to analyze your options and choose wisely. Now, ideally, we would eat at home as much as possible. But with work and school, kids' activities, etc., this isn't always possible. So, however, if it is a viable option, then eating at home is generally healthier and cheaper because you have more control over what goes into your food at home. The next best thing to eating at home is preparing your food at home and then packing it up and taking it with you. So packing your lunch is a great way to ensure healthy food options, while snacks from home can be much lower in fat, sugar, and calories than those convenience, foods that you may find on the road or fast food items. Remember to prepare your foods ahead of time so that when you do need to run out the door, they're ready for you. Try putting your lunch together maybe the night before, because trying to put your lunch together while you're rushing yourself and your kids out the door in the morning is just a recipe for failure. Now, there are certain things that you can do on a regular basis to ensure healthy eating. And later we're going to discuss some healthy eating habits to follow for improved health. But one of the most important things that you can do when eating is to watch your portion sizes. Portions have continued to get larger and larger over the years. So on this slide, there are some visual cues to just give you an idea of, how big is a serving supposed to be? A cup of something is about the size of your fist. A pancake should be about the size of a CD. A 3-ounce serving of meat should be about the size of a deck of cards. If you're talking about fish, maybe the size of your checkbook, because it's usually thinner and longer. But yeah, I mean, it's it's good to have an idea visually, because who the heck wants to measure all the time? Now, you can find this card on the NHLBI website. So nhlbihin.net/portions. I'll have the resources at the end as well. Now, let's just talk briefly about portion distortion. You know, here's an example of how portions have grown over the years. French fries used to be, you know, a small portion at about 2.4 ounces, 210 calories, and now a serving is more than double that usually, and the calories are also double. Remember that, you know, calories in, calories out is going to help you maintain your weight. So if you walk leisurely for an hour and 10 minutes, you can burn about 400 calories. That's not going to burn off the serving of today's French fries. But in the past, it might have burned off the serving. So, but next we are going to discuss how you can watch your portions. And the key is to check the nutrition facts label to determine what an appropriate serving size for any packaged food items is. You can use the downloadable card that we talked about from the previous slide to look at serving sizes for your foods that you typically eat. And when packing your lunch or snacks, use measuring cups or spoons to ensure that you're not getting too much. It's very easy to be more generous with the foods that you like and give yourself a little bit more than what a serving or a portion is supposed to be. But generally, you can also try to use a smaller plate when you eat, and this will help you feel like you're getting more food than you really are. It kind of like tricks your mind. Also, avoid going for seconds, where you really defeat the purpose of using a smaller plate. And then avoid buffets. Buffets are temptations to overeat. Psychologically, people want to get more money, you know, get the most for their money. And at a buffet, that means going back 2 and 3 times or taking larger portions. So try to avoid buffets if possible. When you are eating out in today's world, portions, again, tend to be very large. So consider sharing an entree with someone, spouse, child, friend, or, you know, maybe choose an appetizer as your meal and a small salad or a side dish or something to go with it. Or you can ask for a to-go container up front when you get your meal, and you can divide your plate in half and take half home, and you'll get a whole other meal for your money. Okay, so here are some more healthy eating habits. There are many great ways to eat healthier. You've probably heard it before, and it's still true. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. A good nutritious breakfast gives you fuel for what you need to get through your work day or school day and your other activities, and skipping breakfast can cause low energy or fatigue, even brain fog, and increases the likelihood of grabbing caffeine or sugary foods for a boost later in the day, and then overeating later in the day as well. Try to eat on a regular schedule. You know, make it a habit. This habit decreases the likelihood of hunger, binging, and poor food choices. It may not always be possible to eat on a schedule. However, plan the best that you can by setting aside time to eat throughout the day, and keeping healthy snacks with you in case your schedule changes. Waiting until you are extremely hungry not only will cause you discomfort, but will also cause a propensity to eat more of whatever happens to be available. So eat before you get overly hungry. Chewing your food slowly increases the enjoyment. It also allows your body to provide cues to your brain that you are full. Eating fast does not allow enough time for your body to get that cue and send it to your brain. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to send that cue that you're full. So if you're a fast eater, chances are by the time you get that cue, you've already overeaten. So when you get these cues, you know, if you are a slower eater, stop eating. Remind yourself that you will be eating again in a few hours. This isn't your last meal. You don't have to clean your plate. So we did discuss keeping some healthy snacks on hand in the previous slide. The best way to keep snacks healthy is to buy nutritious foods and prepare them at home. I think we talked about that already. Some good healthy snacks include fresh fruits and vegetables. For example, maybe bring an apple with a tablespoon of peanut butter to work, or try carrot sticks with hummus. If you prefer dried fruits, bring in just a 1/4 cup of dried fruits, maybe mixed with some nuts or some seeds of your choice to add some protein there and some good healthy omega-3s. Other healthy options for your desk drawer at work are maybe fruit cups packed in their own juice, no sugar added applesauce, or maybe some whole grain crackers. Frozen vegetables or beans can be portioned out in small containers also for quick packing for your lunch. Prepare your food items ahead of time so that they'll be ready to throw in your lunch pail. When you're rushing out of the house, consider having a grab-and-go shelf in your refrigerator or in your freezer or your pantry. Just one area in your fridge where you know you can just go grab a couple things, throw them in your lunch pail, and out the door you go. Low-fat dairy products such as part-skim string cheese or yogurt are really a great way to get your calcium and even some additional protein without too many calories. You can pair your cheeses with whole grains such as crackers. Look for a nutritious bar made with whole grain ingredients like oats, nuts, and fruit. Small portions of lean meat or poultry are very good to pair with some low-fat cheeses and maybe a couple of crackers. It's a good balanced snack. Remember that snacks are smaller portions than meals and should be just enough food to bridge the gap between meals and shouldn't be enough to make you full. All right, so let's talk a bit about eating environments. In our busy world, we eat a number of different environments, including home, work, for the kids' school, and then on the go in the car. Are you this person on this slide grabbing a burger in your car behind the wheel where you're trying to drive to get to your next, I don't know, location for work or to grab the kids? Eating on the go may involve fast food restaurants and other dining establishments. You know, your dining options are limitless in our society, and dining out has become much more prevalent for families. We also eat at celebrations and special occasions such as birthdays and holidays, weddings, anniversaries, retirement parties, etc. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. The following slides will cover ways to avoid unhealthy pitfalls while eating in each of these different environments. So let's start with tips for dining out. We previously covered portion control tips that eating out, such as sharing an entree and not eating at a buffet. But here are some additional tips. High-calorie beverages inundate our food environment. Remember that calories from beverages can add up really quickly. So limit your drinks with high added sugars, such as sodas, fruit beverages, and those with high-fat milk, like milkshakes. Instead, choose to drink water or unsweet tea. If you do choose to drink alcohol, do so in moderation. And for alcohol, moderation means limiting intake to 1 drink for women and 2 for men. Limit butter by asking for your food to be prepared without butter, and use olive oil for dipping your bread in. Choose steamed, grilled, or broiled items instead of pan-fried or deep-fried. And this will make your meal heart healthy as well as decreasing the saturated fat in the calories. A salad is really a great dining out option. Ask for the dressing on the side. Choose lighter dressings, maybe the ones that are oil-based, such as vinaigrettes. High-fat dressings that are creamy, like ranch or blue cheese or Caesar, really increase your fat and calorie intake. Skip the add-ons. Skip, the cheese, the bacon, the croutons. Skip some of those if you can. If you choose to have dessert, look for fruit options, such as fruit crisps or sorbets. If you must have like a chocolate fix or something like that, again, consider sharing it with someone. Now, there are a few types of cuisines that are frequented when we eat out, and I'll go over some simple tips to make healthier choices at each of these types of dining establishments. Pasta is often the staple in Italian restaurants. Ask for pasta served with marinara sauce instead of a creamy sauce. Choose pasta as your entree instead of having it as a first course. Pasta oftentimes comes in very large portions, so consider taking, half of it home. Instead of getting veal or chicken parmesan, choose a marsala or a piccata dish. Skip the fried appetizers such as the fried calamari or fried cheese. And for dessert, Italian ice instead of the pastries. Okay, so for a Mexican restaurant, go with the light on the sour cream. Pico de gallo salsa is good for adding flavor. Corn tortillas instead of flour tortillas. Entrees made with tomato-based sauces versus cream-based, and try to skip the tortilla chips or only ask for a small basket. At Chinese restaurants, order entrees with lots of vegetables. Ask for your meal to be made with less oil, salt, and MSG, especially if you get migraines. You can ask them to hold the MSG. Skip the fried noodles that they usually provide on the table. Choose steamed rice over fried rice. At Thai restaurants, avoid dishes made with coconut milk, which is really high in calories and saturated fat. Choose lighter stir-fry items and spring rolls over fried foods. Ask for your food to be prepared with vegetable oil instead of lard. At Indian restaurants, choose steamed rice dishes over sautéed rice dishes. Avoid dishes prepared with ghee, which is clarified butter. Have a salad or yogurt with vegetable as an appetizer. And limit dishes, again, with cream sauces. Anyway, you can get more tips from www.heart.org/heartorg/Getting Healthy Nutrition Center Dining Out Tips by Cuisine. Okay, so healthier fast food options. So although still a type of dining out, fast food presents its own unique challenges for eating healthy. Many fast food chains are now offering more healthful items, so you can ask for their menu, their nutrient information before ordering. Look for salads and grilled options versus the fried options. Go online before you go out. If there are certain places that you frequent, specifically go and look for the healthy options and maybe have them written down on 3x5 cards so you know exactly what you're going to order when you go through the drive-thru. It is tempting to supersize or ask for the larger size meals because you do get more for your money, but it's also more calories, more fat, more sugar, more salt, As discussed earlier, choose water over the soft drinks or maybe unsweet tea. And when ordering pizza, add vegetables such as peppers and onions, and try pizza without cheese or with less cheese. If available, maybe instead of having that second slice of pizza, have a side salad. The workplace presents yet another set of challenges to eating healthy. We've already discussed packing lunches and snacks, and doing this will eliminate the temptation of the vending machine and other unhealthy snacks maybe that you see in a cafeteria, and also treats brought in by your coworkers. However, work also includes meetings and conferences where food is often served. If you are a meeting participant, then plan ahead, maybe bring your own healthy snacks. If you're an organizer, consider healthier options. Ensure that water is available for people who don't drink coffee. And if the budget allows, offer low-fat milk or vegetable juice or unsweetened tea as options. Food at meetings does not have to be a full meal. Consider cutting bagels into quarters, sandwiches in half. If a meal is on the agenda, provide no more than 4 ounces of meat and be sure to include vegetables. Fruit is a great item to serve in bulk. It also makes a good substitution for heavier desserts or even, for breakfast. Vegetarian options cater to those who don't eat meat or eggs, and these options appeal to people also who are trying to eat healthier. So if at all possible, check out to see if there's a vegetarian option. It's easy to eat more than your fair share of not-so-healthy foods at celebrations such as birthday parties. After all, it's a celebration, and it's largely part of our culture to count on these as acceptable times to indulge. This is partly true because celebrations are a time to do just that, celebrate, and food is often the centerpiece of those celebrations. And it's okay to enjoy these events without overdoing it on calories and fat, but have a plan. You're probably going to want to eat birthday cake. So plan ahead by watching your intake of sugar and fat, maybe that day and maybe even the day before. Budget your calories. Maybe have fewer calories the day before or that day so that you can plan on having your cake or your favorite Thanksgiving recipe or Christmas goodies. Parties often present times when we eat more than we should. Eating a healthy meal or snack before going to a party can eliminate snacking on junk food and also the high-calorie dishes. While at a party, remember the tips we discussed for watching your portions. Eat slowly, use a smaller plate, wait to get seconds until you've had a chance to digest and your brain can kind of catch up and send you the cues that it's full. Choose the healthier options first. Fill up on the vegetables, the fruit options. Allow yourself the healthy options, the less healthy options, rather. Allow yourself the less healthy options after you've had the healthy ones. And really, try not to socialize around the food. Focus on the social interaction, but away from the food. Maybe get involved in any activities that might be going on. Okay, so here are some of the resources that you can check out. Choose My Plate is a product of the USDA and can be found at choosemyplate.gov. And this website includes a wealth of information on diet and nutrition, including tips for eating out, an interactive diet assessment tool, and tailored information for your gender, height, weight, and age. Super Tracker is, you can find that through that website or on its own. And it's also from the USDA. It's a really good resource to determine if you're getting a well-balanced diet. And then the American Heart Association provides heart-healthy tips for eating out at their website at heart.org/heartorg. And that's where you can find more specific tips by cuisine as well. So here's a summary of what we discussed. Keep in mind that it is very easy to lose track of what or how much you eat when you're always eating on the goal, so it's important to have a plan and try to practice mindful eating. Specifically, be aware of your portion sizes. As always, remember that whatever your goals may be, your health coach is available to support you. Thank you so much for joining. You will be able to listen to this recording as well as our other recorded webinars on the Strategic Health Services YouTube page. Thank you and have a wonderful day.